Greetings, brothers and sisters. Alec P. Baldwin, J.B. Baldwin, um, has decided to grace us with a video I haven't watched yet. There's some Britney dance stuff, um, Will Smith stuff, and then just the news, the world, the apocalypse. I haven't seen this yet.
Hey, just a quick message to say I've been watching a couple films at the end of the year on the Academy website, and I watched, I watched a couple things, but
Wait, you don't want to talk about Trump's interesting dinner guests? A lot going on in politics, Alec. How come you're not talking about politics? He's rocking the Gumby Doo, though. He's got the Gumby Doo, but he doesn't want to talk about Trump for some reason.
I just watched 13 Lives, Ron Howard's movie about the Thai soccer team being rescued, and oh my God, you got to see this movie because you think, oh, it seems like a documentary. It seems like it's shot like a documentary.
Did anybody shoot a cinematographer on that set? Was a cinematographer shot by a famous actor / producer?
And you think of the sets and the effort that was made to film this movie, and great cast: Viggo Mortensen, Colin Farrell, a lot of Thai actors who I don't, or people from that region who I don't know. But man, this is a great movie. You got to see 13 Lives. I guess for American audiences, you just think of Viggo and Colin Farrell, who did an amazing job.
You're like 8 miles of bad road, bro. Right? He's falling apart. He's got the Gumby Doo. He's got the cough. He's just like a shell of himself.
But man, this must have been a monster of a movie to shoot. I mean, technically, all this underwater stuff and, swimming through these underwater caves and stuff like this. And I guess you can, spoiler alert, and go see look up what the ending is. But I haven't seen many films yet. I just started digging into that now. But one you should see. I saw Tar with Kate Blanchett, which was wonderful. She's as I've said before, on an island of her own.
You're kind of on an island of your own as well, since you shot your coworker, right? You're on a different kind of an island.
Kate. It's a fascinating movie. And strange, like really, very exploratory about the personality of this character. But 13 Lives, see the movie 13 Lives. It was a really, 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 really wonderful film. Okay, ciao.
Alec has had his nuts clipped, right? He used to be a political commentator, and now he just doesn't do that. And one of the reasons is he's just really old. So this is Hilaria J. Baldwin's Instagoal. And, it's just so fake. Here she is with an Alec J. Baldwin shirt and a fake smile. There she is with I think she's just mocking him here. And, devil's horns there for a second. But here you can see, she married her grandfather, right? She's got a little kid in a cage back here and one here. They got like 8 kids running around, 8 blonde kids, all with Spanish names. And the guy's he looks so old and decrepit. Look, he's just barely making it, right? Like he's great-grandfather, grandfather to these kids, right? Just they're old. These are little babies. He looks like he's not going to make it through next week. I showed you that a long time ago he was in England. He looked like a homeless guy, right? And, you get older, you just get sore. You can't do all the things you used to do just in terms of, your physical output. and young kids, toddlers. Of course, they got lots of nannies and all this stuff, but um, you know, it's just like it just shouldn't be, right? I'm in the editing process, and I can see it's a cat in the backpack, not a kid. They got enough problems, and he's gonna take the cat around the neighborhood with her grandfather and her baby. Lots of Britney dance stuff I haven't got to in a while. I think at least one dance. I don't know what this is. Here, is she wearing a wedding gown? Is that a wedding gown? I never wear my gowns. They're so beautiful. This is my great grandmother's veil. I'm such an angel. Um, you know, just this crazy look that she has on her face. But here we go. Is this something here? Again, other gowns. She's posted this a couple of times. This is her nightgown, apparently. Here we got a dance video. It starts off with her putting devil's hands up here. There she goes. All right, go right into the spin. Then just go right into spin, fake smile, spin. Come at the camera, swirl your hair, walk around. This is the room, the legendary dance room. Twirl your hands, stick out your blue tongue, spin around again, and then devil's horns, put them up. Put those devil's horns. There you go. There you go. What was that? Do the chest pat. They're swirling around. Hair there. Put your hair in a ponytail. Walk fast. Coming in fast. Coming in fast. Coming in fast. Down it goes. Yeah, make that face. Make that face, Brittany. Grab your shorts. Touch your hair. Put your blue tongue out again. Swirl your arms around. And then back again. There you go. Hands to the face. Hands to the face. Wiggle your bottom. Low hands. And then wiggle your bottom again. Come back at the camera. There you go, Brittany. She's getting it down. Spin around. Spin around. Spin around. Back at you. Spin around again. And she goes back at you. And then spin around. Come back around. Do your twirly hands. Fake smile. Blue tongue. I guess we're back to the beginning again. It's the most special time of the year. So much to be thankful for. I hope you're all getting my Thanksgiving and Christmas cards in the mail. I know most of you didn't get them in the past, but I hope you're all being served with my handwritten letters now. Who's she talking to? I love you all. Yellow, hello, psst. I hear the new thing to do is to have slumber parties and dance in the kitchen. What is that? When was that the new thing? I'm not turning 41. I'm turning 12. Paris Hilton's always all about Britney Spears' Instagoal. There's a picture of her being practically naked. I'll go to Will Smith's page here. Practically naked in a bathtub. And then she says, keep on clapping, biatch. Here's Will Smith on emancipation. I guess he's saying something here. I haven't been to his page in a while. But like this expression right here, that expression. He has a lot of expressions where he looks, kind of effeminate, whatever it is. I guess he was on Twitter, and one of my viewers sent me this.
Trailer for this film came out. It was October 3rd. I aired the trailer on the air. I got off the air, and a lot of people came up to me where they're like, I can't wait to see that movie. I'm definitely going. One or two people go, I don't know if I'm ready yet, obviously, because of what happened with the Oscars and everything. And I know this is a question people are asking you, but I genuinely want to know what you would say to somebody who feels that way, because I believe in second chances. I believe that you are
second chances. You believe. This guy believes in second chances.
Brilliant in this, and I didn't see Will Smith up there. But what do you tell people if they say, I'm not ready yet, that it's too soon?
Who's saying that it's too soon? A lot's happened since the Chris Rock thing. Like who's not over that? It's too soon, Will. In a month or so I can watch your movies. Right? Like who's saying that? It's too soon.
Or something.
I completely understand that. If someone is not ready, I would absolutely respect that and allow them their space to not be ready.
You mean you're not going to go and force them to watch your crappy movie? Like, what are you talking about?
My deepest concern is my team. You know, Antoine has done what I think is the
He's always just a little bit louder than everybody else. Like he's always just a little bit louder.
greatest work of his entire career. I think, you know, Bob Richardson, you was talking about, Bob did just brilliant work, and Ben, you know, Charmaine and
Charmaine did excellent work.
Naomi.
Naomi's great.
Francine,
Francine's the best.
the people on this team.
What's he doing? Like, look at his. Are you grabbing your fake boobs? Are you doing a Britney? Watch.
Francine, the people
Right,
on this
boom, he's doing a
team
Britney.
have done some of the best work of their entire careers. And my deepest hope is that my actions don't penalize my team.
Exactly. You're always penalizing your team. Stop with the penalizing.
So at this point, that's what I'm working for. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that the material, the power of the film,
It's a powerful film on Apple Emancipation.
Timeliness of the story. You know, I'm
Exactly, on slavery. It's emancipation from slavery. I mean, it's just time. It's time when we had a movie about that.
hoping that the good that
With Will Smith starring Fresh Prince as an emancipated slave. I mean, it's just like, why hasn't this film already been made?
can be done would, you know, open people's hearts.
Do you think people's hearts get opened by your movies? I mean, you were in Fresh Prince, right? You're Will Smith.
At a minimum to see and recognize and support the incredible artists in and around this film.
Yeah, exactly. He's not slapping anybody in this film.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
From America's history.
Yeah.
A man whose picture went around the world that basically showed many people who didn't know innately how brutal slavery was. Let's talk about this first of all.
Yeah.
Emancipation is not the kind of film we would expect.
You know, the questions that should be asked is, hey, well, your wife was banging one of your son's friends, and he's recently come out as being bisexual. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Will, on that?
The greatest artistic challenge in American life is how to depict slavery. It lasts for 400 years. It involves millions of people.
And we need to get Will Smith in on this thing. We got to get Will Smith on slavery. The great actor Will Smith was his umbrella.
No, this is my favorite moment on this movie so far.
Exactly. Nothing says slavery like some guy sitting there in the rain with an umbrella. I mean, just the hardship of this movie, the hardship that Will Smith endured with his. It's like not even a big umbrella. It's just, you know, well, it looks like kind of a big one, but you know, I mean, he's out there. It's raining, and he's supposed to act. Come on. I mean, the hardship of this guy, the man, the actor, the artist.
I was getting ready to surprise an audience who just watched Emancipation.
That's gross.
I'm in Ecuador in the Amazon jungle. This is right outside my room.
Maybe they'll throw some poo at you. Who knows? Maybe these monkeys will throw some poo at him.
Oh. I'm in.
They didn't throw any poo.
Give thanks to God. The Lord is with us.
Okay. We'll see how all this all plays out for Will J. Smith. That time, George W. Bush accidentally told the truth.
A lot of our allies in Europe do a lot of business with Iran, so I wonder what your thoughts are about how you further tighten the financial pressure on Iran in particular, if it also means economic pain for a lot of our allies?
It's an interesting question. One of the problems, not specifically on this issue, just in general, let's put it this way: money trumps peace sometimes.
It's just one of the problems. Sometimes money gets in the way of peace. You know, like peace is there, but we need to make our monies. And so, you know, sometimes it trumps peace.
In other words, commercial interests are very powerful interests throughout the world. And part of the issue in convincing people to put sanctions on a specific country is to convince them that it's in the world's interest that they forego their own financial interest.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to forego your financial interest to have a good old-fashioned war. Okay, this is great. What did I just watch? Here he goes. Jojo Magoo going in. There's a kid in front of him. What am I going to do? Okay, boom. I'm going to crush my nose into some toddler's back. That's what he's going to do. I mean, just, like, what? He's just so creepy and weird. He's so weird. Shakira sports a wetsuit as she enjoys a carefree beach day with her sons after launching a stinging attack on Spanish authorities over her $12 million tax fraud case. I think there are some creepy pictures here. That's why somebody sent these to me. I don't know why it's... Okay, there's first picture. Yeah, that's her son. She's grabbing her son's bottom here. That's what Shakira do. And so I guess that was... there she is there, doing Shakira stuff. There's another picture. I guess that's just creepy enough there. Let's move on. CNN formally announces hundreds of Christmas season layoffs. Chris Lucht, CNN's hapless new chief of lies, released a memo Wednesday that warned many that might have learned how to code. To my CNN LOL colleagues, our people are at the heart and soul of this organization. It's incredibly hard to say goodbye to any of one member of the CNN LOL team, much less many. Today we notified a limited number of individuals, largely some of our paid contributors, as part of a recalibrated reporting strategy. Tomorrow we'll notify impacted employees, and tomorrow afternoon I will follow up with more details on these changes. So there's some Christmas layoffs. Merry Christmas. You're fired. CNN.
One of the letters I got, I want to read to you, Sam, because it's from a gentleman who said that he lost his life savings. And the subject line is, Sam Bankman-Fried stole $2 million from me. It says, Andrew, can you please ask SBF why he decided to steal my life savings and the $10 billion more from customers to give to his hedge fund, Alameda? Can you ask him why his hedge fund was leveraging long all of these S-coins? I'm going to keep it polite for the kids. Please ask him if he thinks what happened was fraud. These are the kinds of letters that I've been getting repeatedly over the past several days. What do you tell this man?
Yeah. I mean, I'm deeply sorry about what happened.
I'm deeply sorry about what happened about stealing your money. I'm deeply sorry. I'm sorry about what happened. I'm sorry. I didn't take your money. I'm sorry. I'm deeply sorry about what happened. I didn't know that guy. That's the first time I heard him. My wife thinks this is about regulating crypto. We'll see how it all plays out. I found more on this this dweeb here.
And it's not who I am. I mean, it's not who I want to be. I don't have... I think I have a duty to talk to people. I have a duty to explain what happened. And I think I have a duty to do everything I can.
I got lots of duty. I got lots of duty to do this duty. You know, I stole this money and I really wanted the money. And now people are mad, so I got some duty. And I want to do my duty, but I can't do my duty.
To try and do what's right. If there is anything I can do to try and help customers out here. And
I mean, I'm in high school. I'm only in high school, and people trusted me with billions of dollars. What do you think was going to happen? I mean, I'm only a junior in high school.
I don't see what good is accomplished by me just sitting locked, in a room pretending the outside world doesn't exist.
It does exist. I know it is. I've been out there a couple times.
You're in the Bahamas right now. Are you in the Bahamas because you think you can't leave?
No, I'm in the Bahamas. I
really like it here. I got a palace I built when I stole all these people's money.
Been in the Bahamas for the last year, and I've been running FTX from the Bahamas. Been running FTX Digital Market, our primary operating entity down here.
There's all these bank accounts I have here. These offshore bank accounts and things around here, and extradition issues and things. I've been moving to the Bahamas for good reasons.
With Bahamian regulators and and others in contact, and right now I'm looking to be helpful anywhere I can with any of the global entities that that would want my help.
Exactly. Lots of people want my help, and I'm a good helper. I help myself to a lot of people, other people's money, and I'm good at helping. MIT researchers self-creating, self-replicating robots with built-in intelligence. Yeah, that's we know how that movie ends every time it's been done. And so Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MassHoles, researchers are building swarms of tiny robots that have a built-in intelligence allowing them to build structures, vehicles, or even larger versions of themselves. The subunit of the robot, which is developed by MIT's Center for Bits and Atoms, is called Voxel and is capable of carrying powerful data. Like I said, we know how this movie ends. Frequency horn sound makes the water fly up. I'm not sure who said. My wife might have sent me this. I'm not sure. That's interesting. The inside story of Trump's explosive dinner with Ye and Nick Fuentes. Bunch of comments. Some people actually like this guy, Nick Fuentes. He's a total tool. We could just see a person of poor character and kind of a weird dude. But anyways, apparently he's been deplatformed. And he's got a lot of right-wing, there's a lot of angry young right-wing men, and they're ripe for whatever it is, getting played and worked by some dude like this, right? They're still covering this like it's some sort of a big story, like it's some kind of, Ye brought somebody to dinner with Trump. Trump may or may not have known who he was, and that was as far as it goes, right? They just can't stop talking about Trump. Missing Blended Festival CEO resurfaces and says accounts were hijacked. I hate when that happens. Like the cork in the bottle of fine champagne, the AWOL organizer of wine and music festivals has suddenly popped up, but only her to wine. At Page 6 reported earlier this month, Sean Evans, founder and CEO of a popular traveling fest titled Blended Festival, had gone missing and allegedly racked up over $6 million of unpaid debt from the festival. The fest's first concert took place on September 10th and 11th in Nashville, with acts such as Little John and Chainsmokers headline. Whatever, guy's embezzled money probably, or whatever he's done. Khloe Kardashian trolled over strange Instagool ad she just wanted to check. The big one's got, she's got needs. She's got monetary needs. Here she goes. Watch her go. Ooh! You did it. You got 12. You did 12 of them. Woo!
Bob Smolin is absolutely the best. It's so much fun. You don't want to miss out. This is a holiday must-have.
You gotta have it. It's a holiday must-have. She'll sell anything.
Ooh.
13. She's getting better. There you go. Hit it. Hit the big one. Let the big one go.
Bucks Ballin is absolutely the best. It's so much fun. You don't want to miss out. This is a holiday must-have.
Holiday must-have. Apparently, box balling, and here she is doing her thing there, just like the big one do. And her fans weren't happy because she's willing to shill for anything. They can't believe she's selling something so lowbrow when her sister's working for Balenciaga. Kardashians are getting together for family meeting as Kim settles divorce with Kanye West. This is where they are in their show. They're having a family meeting, and she's drinking a smoothie. Kim Kardashian settles divorce with Kanye West, gets $200,000 in child supports per month. So that seems excessive, especially now that he's broke. You know, they live this, in the past. The show is, things that happened 6 months ago, right? That's how shows work. Kim Kardashian's Cold Home compared to Psych Ward. It's Kim Kardashian. She's going out for dinner with the big one. There's her was that bedroom, and there's her. Wow, look at it. Does look like a psych ward. There's, I don't know what that is. They've got those, bushes outside, and there's a cup. Well, it looks really creepy, right? Dark and foreboding. There's that outside. There's one of those things. It's a rip in a thing. And there's Stonehenge for some reason. So, drinking water to retail. How a rail strike could upend the economy. How damaging a strike would be would depend on its length. But a strike for even a few days could lead to a cascade of events that would disrupt the supply chains for weeks, industrial officials warn. Boy, those supply chains, they're just always problems now with the supply chains. President Jojo Magoo, who's a rail guy, and you know how that all goes. China moves to ease zero COVID rules after nationwide protests. I showed a little of a video clip and had to cut it. I think it was on my other channel. I'm not sure what, but it was one of these, the FIFA World Cup thing where they were putting masks on everybody because they have oppressive rules there. And now they've, Apple has gotten rid of their, Apple Communicate thing, where they can send, where they can communicate without restrictions on the internet. Apple's like kind of gone evil with their policies towards Twitter and not, whatever's going on there. But the people there are suffering because they're still under COVID lockdown and the rest of the world has moved on. EU warns Musk to beef up Twitter controls ahead of new rules. Again, they're so scared of information. Like how paranoid and scared are they of information? Just sad. Nothing's going to happen. Like nobody cares. Like, and when everybody's suffering, when people lose lifestyle, but other than that, people are just pacified. Harry and Meghan documentary reveals what's happening behind closed doors. There's a new trailer, which I really can't show you because of Netflix. Look at this is what happens behind closed doors. They're going nose to nose and nose to cheek. I mean, Jojo Magoo should get in on some of this. He likes that kind of thing. So just briefly here, I've said this for years. We have a controlled, pacified population. And people aren't going to do anything. They'll whine about it, right? People will express their disgust about something by posting it to the internet. And that's as far as it goes. No boycotting, no, no much of anything else, right? If something's backed by the powers that be, then, a corporation or a person will have to apologize, right? What I was referencing before was Apple's AirDrop. Apple's AirDrop gives people the ability, I've never used it, to communicate to each other without the restrictive aspect of the internet or some sort of service that would be monitored, in this case by the Chinese government. And so people there are suffering and have been suffering for years, but particularly post-COVID, because even though COVID's been eradicated for the most part, they are restricting their population because they're just taking this as a big power grab, right? An unbelievable violation of human rights and, suffering people. I mean, they're all suffering. And they don't have any way to post things and communicate because Apple's removed their one option. And that's evil, right? That's really evil. And my wife and I were talking about it, and what's the alternative? Microsoft and, Bill Gates, right? Like, we could boycott them. I have an Apple computer, which I really love, and we have iPhones. We could trade all that stuff in. I have lots of Apple services, and they have such a liberal programming. Apple has their own TV thing, and, one of that show with the one show was pretty good, whatever, Severance. We like that. Kind of interesting. But most of the stuff on Apple is complete crap, and it's just, full of woke stuff. And so, I'm not a big fan of their corporation now, but their products. But what are my alternatives? I got to make movies, and Microsoft isn't, Microsoft's their own level of evil, right? And so there's no real recourse, right? People don't have any recourse when these companies do this abusive stuff. Like, people could boycott, but they won't. And so the only thing they have to fear, the only thing these big corporations have to fear is the mob going apeshit, right? That's the big thing. And that won't happen until there's a big reduction in lifestyle. I mean, people are dying, dropping like flies. Family members have their kids dropping like flies. And, we all think, we all have our theory about that. But, aside from some weird stuff, people are just going crazy and are more suicidal and more mental illness. I mean, all these things are falling apart. And yet people aren't doing anything about it. Like, most people can see that things are just going to get worse. The economy is going to get worse and, everything along with it. But they won't do anything about it because they're just pacified. And then, if there's an interruption in services, then you might see something. And so the fact that they're trying to restrict freedom of speech, they're putting pressure on, Elon Musk for Twitter and, all these other things that they're doing, must mean we're getting close to the point where people are going to start being pissed and really upset because, the pacification of people has to do with having full bellies, being fed, having whatever it is, warm enough temperatures. I mean, these are the essential food, water, and, warm enough or cool enough houses so that your core body temperature is kind of important, right? And so as long as you have heat and you have water and you have food and then the internet, electricity, then most people are, no matter how bad their life is, they can plug into the cyber world, and that's good enough for them, right? They're not going to flip out. They're not going to, do some sort of, mass revolt. And so something along those lines has to be, we must be pretty close to seeing something that will make people erupt into protests, real protests, where, people just lose their minds and they have to be controlled. And so that's, to me, the only reason they'd be so adamant about controlling people's ability to communicate and post things, because we already know how this is played out. I've seen it for years now. People get really upset about something like Balenciaga, and Balenciaga is, they'll do whatever they do, and then people forget and move on. I mean, we started this off, or, kind of started this off with Will Smith and people saying, oh, we're not ready to watch your movies. you're really still upset about this thing with Chris Rock? Like, I've pretty much forgot about it, right? I mean, it's almost a year. The Oscars is coming back up pretty soon, right? When is it, in February or something? January? So, I mean, we're probably at, 8, 9 months. There's been so much happening, right? I mean, people get upset for a little while, and there's something worse that happens. I mean, every day I'm covering things that are, extremely offensive or should be offensive to people. And people just don't care because they don't have to, right? They don't, they're locked into their own little worlds. And as long as those worlds are available to them, the internet and their, whatever else they're doing, they're not going to be, they're going to be pacified. And God knows how much the COVID stuff, the vax stuff, all the, things that were taken out of people, like just the zest, the prana, the life force is taken out of them. I bet people are so weak and beaten down and, just struggling physically. I mean, even before COVID, young people had, I remember I did a report on this. It was like 1/3 of people between 18 and 40 had young people, younger people, had at least one chronic illness. And, it was like 25% or 40% or something. And then like 20% had 2 or more. And so you had young people already suffering poor health. And now all the things that have transpired since then. So, it just doesn't get better, right? Like, it's just people being beat down and having to accept a deal that's, worse and worse, and, move to a place where there's such desperation they'll accept anything. And I think we'll see, major population reduction and whatever it is. And so I'm not even sure why they feel the need to, stop people communicating, because people can't do anything. People don't have any fight in them, right? People are just beaten down and broken, and it's just going to get worse from here, right? They're obsessed with control and power, power and control. So that might be, a big part of it. But all the censorship doesn't even make sense, right? Someplace like China, sure, because they have so many people, and, a revolt could be, a real revolt, and, something that would draw global attention could really, be something. But, most places not, right? Most places, they're just fake little, riots, and there's nothing really happening with them. But, we're edging closer and closer to, there'll be a turning point. It's happened for some people. Some people have fallen off the cliff, their lives, their lifestyle. There's people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and then they're living in tents like 6 months later, right? I mean, going from riches to rags. But for the most part, people have, less and are worried, but still, the needle hasn't gone into like the really big changes, the danger zone, where people realize that it's just going to get worse from here, and they feel like they're promised something that they weren't, or they were promised, but there was no, sense that these promises could be fulfilled. And, and then from there it just falls apart, right? Anyways, got more videos and work I'm doing that going well with the bulldozer thing. Really enjoying that. So going to wrap this up here, and then more tomorrow on my other channel. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely pointing from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.